let's start conducting assurance engagement. We discussed before that as an internal auditor we have two roles. One is consulting, one is assurance. Assurance is by default is a role of an internal auditor, right? So we'll discuss what are the categories of the service we can offer, what is the risk and control, self-assessment, what is audit of the third parties and contracting auditing, quality auditing, due diligence auditing, performance and operational auditing, and we'll discuss the financial engagements. Some people do have this concept that auditing is only an accountant stuff, but once you come to here, due diligence, quality, audits of third-party contracts, so you can feel, yeah, it is much above than a normal accounts work is. Let's talk about financial compliance and operational auditing. In fact, we have 6-7 type of auditing, which includes environmental audits, quality audit, financial audit, operational audit, and non-financial audits. So financial audit is going to report on the accounting methods. Compliance is going to show your relevance, your matching with the certain standards, laws, regulation and procedure. And operational is the day-to-day, that is within the scope of that is more into efficiency and effectiveness of the organization. This is what we discussed before. The control environment sits through the management, whatever the management style is, it will be working like that. But again, control has 5 components. It has control environment, you have to do risk assessment, you have to do the control activity, define the information and communication need, and we will do the monitoring day-to-day basis. Let's talk about risk and control self-assessment. Self-assessment is when we are going to assess ourselves by our own. So control self-assessment increase awareness of risk and control throughout the organization. Because it's like, you advocate, you make people more aware about risk, control and governances, and you, on each level, you create an atmosphere. So people start thinking about control, risk on each level. What are the elements of self-control assessment? Front-end planning and preliminary audit work is required for this one. When you have to gather a group of people having same thought, same time, same place, meetings, you have to make a structured agenda. Like, the criterions should be selected before you want to appraise something. If you want to evaluate something, first of all, the agenda should be there. And the presence of a scribe to take an online transcription of the session and the electronic voting technology to enable participants to voice their perception of the issues anonymously. Yeah, this is another technique in which, this is for the big companies. They should have electronic votings. If you want to vote for some, some agenda, some topic, and you want to keep your name secret, so what could be the possible devices we should use for it? Reporting and development of the action plan. So once you follow, this is what we are going to do. Now prepare an action plan accordingly. What are the approaches? First of all, the variety of approaches used for this one, which is different based on different industries, the geography, structure, culture, degree of employee empowerment. The structure, size, complexity will determine your type of self-assessment. The CSA process should be customized to fit the unique characteristics of each organization. And the 3 primary forms of CSA are facilitated team, workshops, surveys, and management-produced analysis. So you can do workshops, it's a full day workshop. Whatever is your agenda, your activities are evolving against that, so you can get the desired output. And then management produce analysis. Organization often combine more than one approach. Means they use survey, workshop, other things simultaneously. What are the facilitated team workshops? Actually, the concept of workshop is very hand-on. You pull different people together. This we are familiar, like we do also go in so many workshops. It helps us because it is object-based format, focus on the best way to accomplish a business objectives. Sometimes we have activity, case study, we do involve physically, mentally, psychologically, and we come up with something. So we achieve to what the workshop is around. Risk-based format focus on listing of the risk. Control-based, first identify the controls. And the process-based is focusing more onto the process. For example, this is PO. This will be authorized. It will become the, then you will send to the supplier. He will send us the confirmation. Then, we will receive a delivery. We will put a GR in, put receipt note, based on this is more process-based. And other engagements. This is, we know that as an auditor, now auditor is not only for accounts, because auditing says that it will add value into day-to-day operations. When you talk about day-to-day operation, means you are talking about purchase, sales, inventory, and you are talking about HR, payroll, quality department. So all department has different nature. Obviously, at the end of the day, everything comes in an income statement, but focusing on money, it was an old concept. Now we have to focus on the process, right? So this way we will see the compliance, consulting, and other engagements. What is a compliance auditing? We have certain regulations. For example, like as accounts, we have to comply with, say, Securities Exchange Commission, US gaps, the standards, accounting, policy, procedures. As environmental friendly manufacturing company, we have to be, compliance with ISO, 14,000. If you are in cutting, manufacturing, there are different standards over you which will apply. You have to comply with that. Then if you work in a specific industry like bank, then you have central bank compliances, So environmental auditing is more into that you are not damaging the environment, and whatever environment regulations we have, you are following that one. For consulting engagements overview, we will see what are the consulting engagement, because the day we start CIA, we discussed the two roles for the auditor. One was the consulting, one was the assurance. Assurance is the satisfaction, like you are in the company, this is the management is happy and they have a satisfaction that you are the right guy, you will take care of everything, right? The consulting is an additional role which is not a part of IIA activity. It's an extra role because you are an auditor, you meet every guy in the company and you meet with different people, so you know the system better than anyone. So management says like, look, this guy is very much into, so let's, if they have a doubt on inventory, on stocks, on other things, so they will call you. Look, we make a special assignment for us. That is, the consulting engagements. How we engage, what parameters we should take in mind while going to offer our services as a consultant to the company. What are the specific type? And this is, we already discussed in some unit that information, characteristics of the information, that it should be always reliable and it should have integrity inside. Now compliance can be defined as adherence to the policies, plan and procedures, law, regulation, contract and other. requirement. In terms of technical definition, yeah, this stands for Internal auditor assess compliance in specific areas as the part of their role in organizational governance. They also conduct follow-up and report on management responses to regulatory body reviews. Given the scope of the governmental regulations, these duties of the internal auditor has great impact. Because there is a management who is taking care of everything, but surely audit is making more into compliance. Because even we have a chief compliance officer in the big companies, in the listed corporations, we have a chief risk officer. Because they are now specialized fields, and organization has to spend over it. So compliance is important. Then he says that for internal work, organizations establish standards. These standards becomes the yardstick to compare your criteria. Like, for example, for operational work, we know, 9 o'clock every employee should reach an office, right? Attendance procedure. Now the administrative department operations, they are taking care of that. You are coming on time or not. What is the difference? Why this difference is coming? What is the actions they have to take against me? This is what is the standard concept. Now, procedure to be followed by employees and other agents who are reasonably capable of reducing the prospect of the criminal conduct. It can be a clearly written policy. It can be an organizational structure explaining you are the boss, this is your subordinate, these are the departments, how to communicate between each others. Financial incentives that do not reward misconduct, and use an international organization, a compliance program on a global basis that reflects